Good morning. All right. Good morning, everybody. Ground Fog was in here early with a comment at 6:15 this morning. Man, he was in here waiting and ready, and I doubt if he's still here. But Ground Fog, I appreciate it. Anybody in the chat, give me a 2 before. Let me know that you can hear me, and we will start up in just a minute. So, guys, it is Tuesday, July 29th. Summer is, I guess, coming to a close soon. I know the kids are going to go back to school, I think, next week. Good morning, Miss Sharon. How are you? Is it hot over in South Carolina? Because I know it is stinking hot here in Kentucky. So, but the kids are getting ready for back to school. I think my youngest one, they've got, I think it's Friday night. They've got like their back to school bash kind of thing where they go and meet the teachers and all that kind of fun stuff. So, and then I think they go back, I think August, sometime like August 6th or something like that is first day. Hey, Tactical Muffin Top, how are you this morning, bud? Is it hot where you're at? Because I know it's hot as all get out in Kentucky. But yes, Miss Sharon says absolutely hot. But I think we've got a heat index. I think we got a heat index for like 110 today, something like that. So, well, I've got a couple things to do outside, and then I'm going to be inside the rest of the day. Michael Hamilton, good morning to you. Tactical Muffin Top, doing well. And it's hot in Nebraska. Yeah, man, I tell you, we've got today. I've got to run finish. I got to put everything back in the guy's house that we're doing that epoxy garage. He decided he decided he wanted a third coat of clear on his floor, and I'm like, yeah, we can do that, no big problem. So we did that yesterday, and then I've got to go put everything back in his garage for him this morning. So I'm going to do that, and then I've got to meet a couple guys, a couple subcontractors on some stuff, and then go to my mother-in-law's house and do some things. Tactical Muffin Top. I'm an HVAC guy. Fixed an AC yesterday. Yeah. Man, I tell you, I guarantee it's crazy. The ACs are working overtime. Greg Skeens, good morning, buddy. But yeah. So after I go finish up that epoxy job, then I'm going to go meet a couple subs on some stuff and then go to my mother-in-law's house because she has put her house on the market and has another house under contract. So she's got a 2-story house that we just got done remodeling. She decided that a 2-story house, she wanted a 1-story. So we found an awesome 1-story house about 3 miles from me. And so she's got it under contract waiting for her house to sell. And then we're going to do some more remodeling on her new house. So I've got the stupid security system that I've talked about before. The guys came on Saturday. Michael, that's what I was going to talk about. The guys came on Saturday to my mother-in-law's house and took the stupid security system out. I was doing something, and my wife happened to be in town. And she was like, I'll go over there. And my wife texted me. She goes, this guy is an absolute ass. He is just a jerk from... she's like, he's just being a jerk about all this stuff and rude and everything else. And he was there a couple hours taking the stuff out, just started ripping stuff out. So there's holes. They mounted, it's about the size, a little bit smaller, about the size of an iPad mini that they had mounted on the wall. He essentially just kind of ripped that thing out. So there's 4 or 5 holes in the wall to fix there. There's another spot where he ripped the paint off the wall where they had like a smoke detector or something like that hung up. And then, of course, they put kind of like one of the Ring doorbells up. They drilled a hole through the trim on the front door. So I got to patch it. So I got drywall to patch, paint to fix, the front door, got to fix it and stuff like that. And then, of course, they're coming to take pictures on Friday of the house, like professional photographers coming in to take pictures. So I've got to get all that done to where they can take pictures by Friday. So I'm going to run over and start working on that crap. this afternoon, and at least I will be inside in the air conditioning. So let me see. Chantel, good morning, everyone. Just checking in at work today. I hope you have a good day at work and at least you're inside and not out in the heat, Chantel. Bill's here. Good morning, Bill. What all have you got done this morning? So I know it's hot. I've already been outside, but we got some wind last night and some rain. I don't know exactly how long it rained, but it rained a little bit because I know everything is wet outside. So, but yeah, it's wet outside. The deck is wet out back. So hopefully we'll get a little bit more rain. I think it's supposed to rain a little bit today or something. I'm not 100% sure. So yeah, Miss Sharon. Yeah, it's probably a good thing I didn't go over there. Yeah, I would have had words with that guy. I mean, and the company is Vivient. Vivient is the company. Do not do business with these people. And I'm honestly thinking about doing a whole video because my wife documented all this stuff. And I'm like, I really want to do a video slamming these people and doing that. So I don't know if it's going to be a good idea to do a video on that or not. But I will tell you this, Vivient, do not do business with those people. They are horrible crooks and just a bunch of jerks. Darren's here. Good morning, Darren. Darren did an amazing job at the festival doing the chicken processing. We had a little hiccup with Matt from Yardbird, and so Matt could not make it to the festival. So I called Darren. I'm like, hey, can you do some chicken processing for us? Because Darren is a pro at chicken processing. So Darren handled all the chicken processing for us and did a bang-up job on that. I super appreciate him doing that. Let me see, Bill. Not much. My sciatic went completely out a few days ago, and not feeling good enough to stand up straight and walk like a human. Hey, Bill, relax, get that thing going. Man, when mine have acted up before, there's some stretches you can do to really stretch that thing out, or I go to the chiropractor if mine's messing up and do that. So Miss Sharon, do it as a review. I honestly think I don't know if it'll get much traction or not. I mean, but it would be nice for me because then I could get it off my chest and be like, these guys are such jerks and everything else. So I might do it. And then, like I told one of my friends, I was like, I'm going to do a video on Vivint and just slam them and run them in the ground. He's like, what if you get in trouble for it? I'm like, what are they going to do? Are they going to sue me or something? Cool. Go ahead and sue me, and we'll see what happens with that. So it is what it is. So, all right, guys, before I forget, I wrote notes and all that kind of stuff, so I won't forget stuff. I'm horrible about doing that. But we've got Combat Midwife is going to be here October 25th in Bowling Green. You can get tickets if you go to our website, KentuckySustainableLiving.com. Right at the top, there's a red banner. Click it. It will take you to Combat Midwife, her website, to sign up for the class. That's going to be October 25th. Same place as we have the festival. We've got one of the classrooms there to use. So that's going to be October 25th. It's going to be a fun class. I'm excited about going through that class and learning about midwife stuff, birthing, complications with birthing, and all that kind of stuff. So check that class out. Tickets are on sale for it. And then, oh yeah, and you can use the code KSL for a discount. I think it gives you $40 or something off the price of the class. So check that out. Also, first aid kits and medical supplies. Everything is in stock, ready to go. So if you need some first aid and medical stuff, get it. We've got some new stuff coming that Shelly and I are working on right now. Hopefully in about another week or so, we're going to unveil it. So let's see. Bill says, I don't do doctors. Been dealing with this since 95. 2 rear-ended car accidents and the last is a full-size van. Ooh, man. I don't like doctors too awful much, but I tell you, chiropractors are amazing. I will go to a chiropractor for sure. So, and also, real quick before I forget, it is behind me, and my youngest one is like, "Hey, Dad, will you put these on your website and sell them?" He has got a 3D printer, and he prints all kinds of stuff. He prints out just stuff all the time, and he's like, "I want to do a website and start selling my 3D printed stuff." And I'm like, "Okay." I was like, "We'll work on it." I was like, "Get an inventory up first." So he told me, he was like, "And if you see it, it's the little blue guy sitting behind me on my shelf. It is a pickle guy." And he's like, "Dad, can you put it up on your shelf?" And he said, "Say something when you're doing your show in the morning." And I'm like, "Okay, I will do it." So we've got the pickle guy. This is one of his 3D printed pickle guys. So he was like, "Do you think you could sell these on the website?" And I was like, "Hey, dude," I was like, "Well, I'll say something about it on the live, and we'll see where it goes from there." So the pickle guy is hanging out with me, and I've done my duty, and I advertised for him. So now I'm shilling for a 9-year-old on his 3D printing stuff. It doesn't get much better than that. So I will show him the video and let him know that I shield for him. So yes, Miss Sharon, it's cute. He comes up. He's got a little app for his iPad, and he can go through and look at the different things. 3D print those out. I'm going to get him to where he 3D prints some cool stuff like we can use. So maybe one of these days he'll come up and we can get a real nice 3D printer and start 3D printing more useful things besides tchotchkes and stuff that's set on there. So also, Retro Warrior Coffee. Lisa hooked me up with an awesome mug. She gave me this at the festival, and I forgot about it. It was sitting in my truck, and I was cleaning stuff out of my truck, and I was like, "Oh, my coffee mug's there." So I got this thing washed up and using it. I am drinking. What am I drinking this morning? I typically drink decaf, so I'm doing, this is the Ghost Army decaf. That's what I'm drinking. I like it. Use the code Homestead 50 will get you 50% off your sample packs. So what I told Lisa, I'm like, "Hey, let's do something for the sample packs." I'm like, people want to try coffee before they buy it, before they do like a monthly subscription, stuff like that. So I told her, I was like, "Let's do 50% off the sample pack and do 50% off those. And then the people can try it out, and then we'll get them a coupon code for a subscription." So go use code Homestead 50. That'll get you 50% off your sample pack. And then you can try it out and figure out what you want. She's supposed to have me a coupon code by Friday. So we'll kind of see what that looks like. And Darren will take 2. They look like a great Dash Buddy. And green. Darren, I will see what colors he's got. I told him to print one out. It's a pickle. So I told him, I'm like, we got to get something. So so we're working on colors. A blue pickle might be a very cool pickle. Yeah, it's the frozen pickle. So, but yeah, Darren, let me write that down. I will write it on my hand, and we will make sure, and I'll tell him. All right. I will tell him that he got an order for it. So he'll be excited about that. So let's see. Jason Jennings. We ordered a sample pack at the festival. We're anticipating our arrival. Good deal. Hey, I like it. The only stuff I've tried so far has been the decaf, because for some reason the caffeine in coffee sets me off as far as blood pressure. I'm going to brew just a little bit. She's got me a bunch. This is the light roast. I've got some of the light roast, and then I've got some other stuff setting up here. Oh, I've got some of the dark roast and some more of the sample packs. And so I'm going to try it and drink just a little bit and try it out. But the only thing I've tried so far has been the decaf. And then Tina, same thing. They ordered a sample pack. Good deal. And Greg sent me a text just a minute ago. He's like, "I'm on here watching, but I can't comment. I don't know what's wrong." But Greg, thanks for being in here. So, Yes, but go pick that up. Use the code Homestead50. That'll get you 50% off the sample packs. You can try it and see if you like it. And then also, I keep scratching my hand, and I have never had this before. Sunday before I had a meeting at church about some stuff. Sunday afternoon, so right before I went down to check on the animals, went down and I checked on everybody, made sure troughs were full, all that kind of stuff. Was going to close the gate, and I felt something on my hand just hit me. A stinking wasp hit me right on the backside of my hand, and I was like, "Holy crap!" I mean, it hit hard, and it swelled. My hand's still swollen up. It was the hardest wasp hit I've ever had. So I was like, I put some of our we've got sting and bite pads that we put in our vehicle medical bag. So I grabbed one of those, rubbed it on there. It helped it. And then I popped a Benadryl just to make sure I didn't have any reaction or anything to it. Went to church, did our meeting and all that. Then went to my parents' house. We ate dinner and everything. Come back home, and I was laying on the couch about ready for bed. And my hand, when I would do like that, my hand was so sore, and it just felt horrible, like somebody just hit it with a stinking hammer. And I mean, when you went to flex it, it just hurt and hurt. So it hurt all day yesterday, and today it's fine now, but it's still swollen a little bit, and the stupid thing itches like all get out. So I'm gonna put some itch cream on it before I leave for the day. So watch out for the wasp. That darn thing hit me and hit me hard. Most of the time they can hit me and then it's just like boom, it's fine. So watch out for the wasps. They're everywhere. All right, let me see. Russell Homestead, good morning to you. Have you got hot stuff to do on the homestead today? I hope you can get it done super early and late in the afternoon, night, and then do that. And let me see. Bill, make 2 orders for the pickle man, 1 blue and 1 green. All right. 1 blue and 1 green. I'm going to have to check on his filament colors. So we'll see about what we can do filament colors. I know he's got blue, and like my mother-in-law bought him for Christmas. She bought him a whole case of all these different filaments and everything. So I will tell him when we're done with this that he's got some orders. And Greg had to go to Chrome. The duck didn't want to play nice. Exactly. Greg, yes, do it. Hey, I've thought about doing that. I'm going to see. I'll sit down with him and see what he's got and see what he can do if he's got a sheet. I think it's the Toy Box is the 3D printer that he's got, but it's got an app where you can go on there and do all kinds of different stuff with it and everything. So I'll check with him when we get off here. So let's see, Bill. I got hit by a red wasp. My wife put baking soda on it, and within minutes, the pain and itching went away. I might have to try that. So most of the time, when I've gotten stung by stuff before, I'll take those sting and bite pads and rub on there and soak it down real good. And then 5 minutes later, you don't even know you got hit. So I don't know. Maybe he was on steroids or something, this wasp. Who knows? So, all right. Things we're working on, workshops. We've got, like I said, we got the Combat Midwife Workshop, October 25th. We're working on dates and times for some other workshops. We're going to do an advanced workshop with Leslie, an advanced herbal workshop. And don't let the advanced parts kind of scare you. It's just going to be, we've done some beginner classes with Leslie before. She's going to do one that's going to get more down deep in the weeds, literally on herbal stuff. So it's going to be a little bit more advanced class. We're working on times for that and see what we're going to do about it. We're also working on a radio communications class with trying to see when we can get it scheduled, stuff like that. So that'll be coming up soon. Also, I've got to get back with Mike about doing the land nav class. We're still looking for a good place to have that. He told me we need about 100 acres to do it right. So we're trying to find a good spot. We've got a couple spots scoped out and working on it. So be looking for that to come up. Then also, I'm going to be going down to Tactical Response in Camden, Tennessee, October 30th and 31st for their immediate action medical. So if anybody wants to get in on that, you can go to Tactical Response's website and sign up. But I'll be going down there for those 2 days. If anybody wants to join me, let me know, and we can hang out for the weekend and learn some more medical stuff. And then Bill, let me see. You have to do it almost immediately after being stung. It draws the venom out. All right. Well, too late for that. I'm on a downhill slope for that. Let's see. Dave, order bentonite clay from Redmond Salt. They have awesome natural minerals for your animals and your garden. They also have soil tests and in the agriculture area of Redmond Salt. All right. Thank you, Sharon. I've got Redmond's makes the salt for animals, and they've got the minerals, and they actually carry it Stockdale's. We've got a Stockdale's here, and I was in there the other day grabbing something. I looked at the Redmond salt, and I was like, ooh, I'm going to get this for the animals. So they freaking tear that stuff up, and I absolutely love it. Let me see, Jason. Christy and I are interested in the herbal class. Well, Jason, stay tuned. As Shelly and I are going to talk to Leslie and pin a date down for it on exactly when we're going to do it. Hopefully, Shelly was out of town this last weekend, so we didn't get to do too much discussing. I got to talk to her tonight, so we're going to kind of pin down a date for it. So we'll post it. I mean, I'll talk about it on here. We'll put it on the website. We'll have it on Facebook and everything, so you will know about it. And make sure too, if you're not on the email list, run to the website, sign up for the email list. We always send emails out about special stuff we've got going on, deals and stuff like that. And then also, if you sign up for the email list, you get 10% off your order. So sign up for that, and between all those avenues, you will know when we've got some stuff coming up. Nathaniel, good morning to you. All right. TAC response. All right. What I was going to talk about today, I was kind of racking my brain, and I've got to pull my laptop up because I actually made notes and actually typed notes out if I can find it. All right. Let me see. Sharon, I got stung 3 times in one area on my arm and could not find my goodnight clay powder, so I used the bentonite clay toothpaste with peppermint and colloidal silver in it, and it took the sting right out. Hey, that's pretty cool. All right. I was scrounging around thinking about stuff and everything for a topic today. As far as getting burnt out on preparedness, homesteading, and kind of playing the long game of stuff. I know a lot of people get burnt out. They start down the preparedness journey, and they get burnt out within like a couple months, and they're like, this just sucks. This is no fun. I'm preparing for a collapse. It's never going to happen, and stuff like that. Greg, let me see. Greg, where are you at? If you're close, we could probably do that. Greg, tell me where you're at, and then also shoot me an email. It's KentuckySustainableLiving@gmail.com. Shoot me an email, and then we'll talk about that. So, all right, long game of preparedness and not getting burnt out. You know, stay motivated, stay ready. A lot of people will get on there. They'll start down their preparedness journey, and they're burnt out within a couple months. I mean, so it kind of feels like it's an endless deal. You know, you build up your pantry, you stock your ammo, you bought all your gear, and it's like, now what? Are we just going to sit and wait for the world to end kind of thing? And you're like, I bought all this stuff and nothing's ever happened, that kind of thing. And also maybe you've got too many animals and just everything is you're trying to keep up with everything. It's, 110 heat index outside, and you're like, I've got all these stinking animals I got to take care of, and this is ridiculous. Nothing's going on. I can't keep up. Or I've got a 1/4 acre garden and or an acre garden, and I shouldn't have done this, and the weeds are coming out and everything else. It's like, don't get burnt out. Pace yourself on stuff. The thing is, and one reason I've made notes on this, Why is it so easy to lose your motivation? One, no immediate reward. You hope you never have to use this stuff, but if you live the lifestyle, you're always going to kind of use that stuff. So not necessarily if you've got 3 years of freeze dried food, you're not going to be using your freeze dried food every day. But if you're doing canning stuff, if you're canning what's coming out of your garden from the harvest or freeze drying it, you're going to use that stuff. Just keep going with it. Rotate through your stock, everything like that. Your guns, your ammo, all that stuff, you need to be training. You need to be out shooting your guns, getting practice, stuff like that. So, William Zegley's here. How are you, man? I hadn't seen you in a while. You didn't get up to the festival. We were wondering what was happening with you. But, yeah, use what you got. I mean, you've got all this stuff, and you're like, oh man, I'm never going to use this. But get out, train with your guns. Get out and do stuff. Train with your medical stuff. You've got all these medical supplies. Do you know how to use these things? Get out there, practice it. Go to workshops, go to classes, learn this kind of stuff. Also, fatigue and overwhelm. You've got too many projects. Don't get too many irons in the fire. Or, I mean, if you've got all these irons in the fire and you can control them, hey, more power to you. I get too many irons in the fire sometimes and stuff drops through the cracks. I will admit that 100%, that it happens all the time. Financial strain. You're looking at it. I mean, the economy sucks right now. And people are like, how am I going to prep and buy other things when I'm worried about just putting groceries in the cabinets? So there's strain that way. Do what you can. You don't have to build your food. You don't have to build a year food supply right now, right then. So just slowly do it. Don't go out and don't look at it and be like, hey, it's $5,000 for a year's food supply. How am I going to come up with that when the economy is trash? I mean, build it up slow. Do that kind of thing. Feeling like nobody around gets me. That's the cool part about coming to festivals and stuff like that, is you're going to meet people. I mean, pretty much every person at our festival is into preparedness or homesteading, and you could talk to them about that. Come to workshops, go to homestead meetups, stuff like that. Join some Facebook groups, and then you're not the only one around me, and you're not like, hey, nobody gets what I'm doing. So look at it that way. Distractions from your normal life. Yes, it can kind of be distractions from your normal life and stuff like that. And honestly, there's a quote. It's prepping is a marathon, not a sprint, but the marathons are hard. Yes. I don't know who quoted that, but it's true. Prepping is not just a sprint. It's not going and buying everything that you can, buy all this stuff, and then sit around and wait for the world to end. It's a marathon of stuff. And honestly, it's a lifestyle. So get in the lifestyle, start doing, practice what you preach. The whole thing about that is, yes, you've got food supply, you've got guns and ammo, you've got medical supplies, you've got comm stuff. Know how to use all this. Don't just go buy. I mean, don't just grab, let me see. Yeah. Don't just go grab one of these, turn it on, program it, and never use it and set it on there and be like, hey, when the time comes, I'm going to turn on my Baofeng, run to the woods and live a life out there with my Baofeng radio and know how to use it. It's know how to use the thing. Get some training with it. It's just like I had a conversation with one of my friends. He's a retired military guy. We were talking one day about comms. And I told him, he's like, yeah, he's like, I've got a couple Baofengs. And I was like, have you used them? Have you plugged them up? He was like, I charged them and turned them on. And I was like, okay, have you used these things? No, when the time comes, excuse me. He said, when the time comes, I'll figure out how to use those. And I'm like, are you serious? And he was like, yeah. And I said, no, hey, I was like, without naming names, I was like, would you do that with your AR-15 that you've got? Well, no. He's like, what do you mean? I was like, would you learn how to shoot your AR-15 when somebody's busting down your door? He's like, no, that's stupid. And I'm like, that's the same thing that you're doing with those radios. You're waiting until everything, the grid goes down and all that to learn how to use your radios. You need to learn how to use your radios right now. Don't just buy the thing and set it in a closet and be like, hey, when the shit hits the fan, we'll just learn how to use the radios, or we'll learn how to use a tourniquet. We'll learn how to pack wounds in a grid down situation. That's going to be fun. Just like anything, your water filters. When I did the video on the Pure Bag water filter, I messed up just a little bit on it, trying to close the top part to drain all the trash out. And I said it in the video. I'm like, you need to practice with this and know how to do it, because in a life and death situation, if you lose a quart of water out of that bag, out of that filter, that's a quart of water that you're not going to have right then, and you're going to have to do another purification process to get more water. So practice on that stuff. So let me hit these comments. Greg knew our comfrey salve works better on bee stings than anything else I've tried. Hey, comfrey salve, I tell you, comfrey salve will do all kinds of stuff. If you really start looking in there, they call it knit bone for a reason. They used to use it, and they would put it on there, and they said it would heal broken bones. I've heard instances of people doing that. Let's see, Bill. The produce lady came through again yesterday, gave us a call. We got 5 produce boxes full of cantaloupes. That's awesome. And then Zegley's here. And Bill, I've tried juggling and suck at it. I've done one project at a time. Exactly. And Miss Sharon, my to-do list gets longer every day. Hey, mine does too. And then Bill Zegley, life choices: either come to your deal or save money to visit my daughter for my birthday at the end of August. Hey, that's no problem. Do your family first for sure. So, all right. So easy ways to stay motivated. And a lot of this stuff is what I do. Set your small goals. And like I said, instead of stockpiling a year's supply of food, let's start 7 days. And then you're like, man, 7 days is freaking easy. I can do 30 days now, or I can do 14 days. Do it, and it's small wins, and you win often with stuff. Set those goals small. It's just like, and I'm not a runner by any means, but it would be like if I wanted to run a marathon, I'm not going to go out and be like, hey, I'm running 26 miles today. It's like, let me see how good I can do with 1 mile. And then when I've got 1 mile caked and I can do 1 mile in my sleep, then we're going to build it up to 2 miles and just keep going and going and going like that. And you get these small wins. It's kind of like Dave Ramsey preaches with his getting out of debt, the debt snowball. You start with your smallest debts and pay off your smallest debts to your biggest debts. So then that way you're knocking out, that little $200 medical bill or something that you got. You knocked it out and you're like, heck yeah, I got to win on this. And then you go on to the next thing, it might be a $700 credit card or something like that. And you just keep getting these wins and you stay motivated doing that, as opposed to saying, hey, I'm going to pay off my house first, and my house mortgage is $200,000. We're going to pay the house off first. And you just keep chugging away and chugging away and chugging away at this thing. And you're like, this sucks. I'm not getting anywhere. So start with small stuff, set small goals, and then you can achieve those things. Rotate your focus. I do this a whole lot as far as if I get tired of one aspect of something. If I'm heavy on food storage, and I've spent, the last 2 or 3 weeks or a month doing a lot of freeze-dried stuff and putting a lot of stuff away, and I'm kind of getting burnt out on it, I'm like, hey, let's switch gears. Let's go over to firearms and ammo. Let's go ahead and buy some more ammo, stuff like that. And then once I've got that, it's like, hey, let's go on and mess with some of our solar stuff, so we can get some more solar supplies and stuff like that. And then after that, it's like, ooh, I'm going to jump back over to medical stuff. I need to stock some more medical supplies and first aid stuff. And then by the time you rotate back around, you're like, ooh, I need to jump on food storage now. Or, hey, let's do some more security stuff. So it's just rotating around and not staying stuck on one thing. And a lot of times I'll hit something super heavy. I'll hit radio communications super heavy for like a month or so. And then I'm like, hey, we need to jump on something else and really hit it hard. And I found that way you don't get burnt out on stuff. find people, essentially find your tribe. Go to the festivals. I mean, if you don't come to ours, find one closer to you. Go to that. I know Self-Reliance is coming up in October down in Camden. Go to that. You're going to meet a ton of people down there. I think it's October something, the first part, or about middle of October. So check it out. I think it's selfreliancefestival.com. Go check that out. You're going to meet tons of people. I will probably be down there Saturday, and because I know we're leaving that next week to go on vacation, I think. So I will be down there probably Saturday. But find your people. Go to meetups, join online communities, attend workshops and stuff. So I mean, we're doing all kinds of stuff. We're going to try to have a homestead meetup soon. It's just the logistics and stuff like that. We like doing the homestead meetups. Essentially, it's free to come. We just do like a kind of a potluck for lunch. We'll have a couple people speak, just short kind of topics. I know the last one we did, Brian and Susan came up, talked about communications in the morning, and then I think Leslie talked about herbal stuff. Just short, little bitty tidbits of stuff, and you get to meet people. So do that. Go to the meetups, join online stuff. I mean, hit Facebook groups and everything, workshops. But the best thing that you're going to get is in-person stuff. Yes, you can do a lot of stuff online, meet people online, but to really get connections with them, you're going to need to get off your couch and get off the internet and come meet people in person. Let me see, Nathaniel. Are there more KSL dates this year? Nathaniel, we're working Combat Midwife. Jessica is going to be here October 25th in Bowling Green. She's going to be doing her Combat Midwife class. So we've got that working. And I was talking about before, we're working with Leslie to get a date to do an herbal workshop. I'm working on getting a radio communications workshop set and ready. And then also we're working with Mike Adkins on getting a land nav class going. And then we're going to try to get a homestead meetup soon. Shelly and I we've got to sit down this weekend, set some dates and stuff like that. So we've got plenty of places, plenty of options that we can have venues where if it's going to be hot, we can sit in air conditioning, hang out, eat lunch with everybody, and just have a good time. Let me see, Bill. As far as getting out of debt, we take our highest interest rate debt and double or triple the payment and then move to the next. Yeah. And you're setting small goals and hitting them and doing stuff like that. And Bill Zegley. I've set block time and task goals. It's working well for me. Exactly. You'd be surprised at how many like-minded people you can meet at flea markets. Yes, there are a lot of like-minded people at flea markets. And you can also find some amazing stuff at flea markets. I love going to the flea market up here. And typically I don't go inside because the people inside have the same stuff every week. Those people are there every week. They've set their booth up selling the same stuff, and it very rarely changes. I go to the outside vendors because those guys are different every week and they've got some cool stuff. We had to replace old aluminum frame windows in the house after finding a 1/4 inch of ice on the inside of the frame 2 winters ago. Yes, that would be, yeah, you need some new windows if you got that stuff going on. So, all right. Make it, another thing is you can make it a lifestyle instead of a chore kind of thing. If this is something that you live out, it's not just, hey, we're not doing preparedness stuff and homesteading stuff for fun. We actually live this life. You make it part of that. Garden because it's fun. Cook with your preps. The food that you're prepping, you should know how to cook with it. So do that. I live the lifestyle. I'm not running around in a plate carrier all day with an AR-15 around me and doing cosplay and all that kind of crap. But yes, I've got all that stuff. But I mean, literally, I come in from work, we do the chores, all that stuff, take care of the animals. I will typically come down here in my office, do a few things, go through some radio gear, stuff like that, make sure everything's set and charged up. Get my ham radios. One thing I've got to work out right over here, I'm trying to find a nice little table to put all my base station radios on. So as soon as I find that, As soon as I find that, we're going to get that set up. I'll have all my base station radios down here to use and keep everything maintained down here. Just doing small stuff. I went this weekend over on the wall over there. I had some extra of this rough sawn oak. I hung up and did a thing to where I could hang all my backpacks. So I've got backpacks hung up over there, ready to go. Some of the backpacks are packed, ready to go. You can grab those and do whatever you need to do. You know, I've got a bag that's got a couple pairs of clothes in it, some goodies and stuff like that. If I need to throw it in and go do something, I can just throw the bag in the truck and go. That's living it and stuff like that. I put up some wire. I bought one of those. It looks like a commercial like you see in kitchen or restaurants and stuff like that. The wire shelving, I put that on there and set it up. We're setting it up with all our Condition 1 cases, Starlink case, all that kind of stuff. So do that. Live that kind of thing. Also, remember why you prep. You're prepping for your family's safety and to get through times of crisis so your family will be safe. That's the biggest thing that you're prepping for, to make sure your family's taken care of. Self-reliance, and then peace of mind for knowing, you know, last night, yes, a storm was going to roll through. It wasn't going to be that big a deal, but I knew Warren Rural Electric has got some power outages last night and this morning. I looked, it popped up on Facebook that there were some power outages. I could go to sleep and not worry. If the power went out, I've got 2 solar generators sitting over here in the corner. I've got generators down in the shop. We would have power, electricity, and be fine with it. So I could sleep well. I didn't sit there biting my fingernails going, oh my gosh, it's going to be 100 degrees today. And if we don't have power, we're just going to suffocate and not have any air conditioning. It's like, boom, we're set and ready to go. No problem with that. So it's peace of mind on stuff. All right, let me see. Bill, do I do the roofing? I do not. We did a little bit of roofing before, and I just don't do it anymore. I don't have the guys to do roofing. I've got an amazing roofer, and actually, funny you mentioned that. He is down. He's down, and my roofer's down at my brother's house putting a roof on my brother's house right now. They started yesterday, and they're probably going to finish up this morning pretty quick. But no, Bill, I do not do any roofing. Let me see. Greg S. Bill, you could have had my tickets. I wasn't able to make it. Yeah. If somebody buys tickets, that's something that we were talking about doing some ticket donations and stuff like that. Shelly and I are going to talk about it and see what we can do about that kind of thing. And then Bill, and then the next year, the HVAC went belly up and had to replace it. Yeah. There's always something to do. Rosie, good morning. How are you? Then Bill. 2 things take priority over new roof on the house. Now the windows are paid off. Exactly. All right. Michael, I got to get my ham license. Yes, Michael. Ham license is super important. I've got mine. I've got my general class license. I've got my general class. Your first one is your technician, then your general, and then your extra. I've been working on my extra. The only reason I want to get my extra is so that when Brian and Susan come up and do a comms class for us, we can license people. I can do right now, I'm a volunteer examiner to where I can give the test. You have to have 3 licensed ham licensed people there that are volunteer examiners to give tests. So right now, when Brian and Susan come up, we can do a technician license. So if you want to take the test, you can get your technician license. As soon as I get my extra, then we can test people for their technician, general, and extra class all in one thing with us 3 doing it. So I'm working on my extra. But yes, get your ham license. I would recommend getting at least your general, the extra class. The only reason I want to get the extra is where we can do more testing. But if you got your general license, then you can do HF, do your high frequency. That's where you're going to get regional and worldwide communications. So get your license. We will probably I've got to talk to Greg or Brian and Susan and see if we're going to do a licensing thing. If somebody's interested in getting licensing and coming to the comp class, let me know, and we will get that figured out and going on that. Let's see. Bill had 3 different companies come out and do an estimate, and no response from anyone. Man, I tell you what, that crawls all over me. People do that, and I hear that all the time because I'm a contractor, and people are like, well, I had 4 or 5 people come out and they said they're going to give me a price and never call me back. Why is it that you're going to go spend your time looking at a job, working up the price, and taking your time to drive out there when gas is almost $3 a gallon, and then you're not ever going to give them a price on it? Typically, unless it's something crazy, I will go out. I kind of pre-qualify people sometimes on that. And, if somebody calls me and they've got champagne taste on a beer budget, I'm like, hey, this thing is probably going to be X amount, and see how serious they are about that. So I do not understand why contractors go out and look at a job and then never call you back. It amazes me, and I hear it every day. All right. Newman, how are you this morning? It's 111 right now. It doesn't feel hot. I'm acclimating. Hey, we've got like 110 heat index here is what it's supposed to be today. So I feel bad for you. 115 right now. Goodness, you can keep all that. But hey, Newman, I'm glad to have you here. Let's see. Sharon, what's the best storage? Mice and rats got into my preps. They chewed through the Lowe's blue 5-gallon lid bucket of organic rice, etc. Got metal buckets with lids now. I tell you, metal buckets will work. The big thing, keep mouse traps out. We keep mice traps in our basement all over the place. Keep them out. The sticky traps, keep those things down there too. And you're always going to have, when you've got some kind of farm, you're always going to have a mouse or 2 running around. So just keep the traps out. I've actually got the metal, the 55-gallon drum metal barrels. They will not chew through those. And what I've done on a lot of those 55-gallon metal ones, I'll take my 2-gallon Mylar bags, seal everything up, and do that. And then I just drop them down in the metal 55-gallon drums, and you can store a bunch of stuff in those 55-gallon drums. But the thing is, you've got to put them where you want them, because once you fill those up, they're 400 to 500 pounds, and you're not really going to move those easily unless you've got a drum dolly or something like that, or a tractor to move those things around. But look at getting some more of the metal buckets or 55-gallon drums that are metal. And then, Bill, contractors are a fickle bunch. It is. I don't understand why guys do that. And Bill, I want a roof that's going to last 25 years. That will make my wife and I nearly 100 years old. A lot of guys are going with metal roofs. When I re-roof my house, I'm very seriously thinking about doing a metal roof on it. We've got shingles now. We did a 30-year shingle, and I've been in this house about 14 years, so we're about halfway through the shingles on it. But I'm seriously debating doing a metal roof because I plan on staying here a long time. We did a three-dimensional shingle on my brother's house. That's what he wanted. He doesn't know if he's going to stay there too much longer or if he's going to sell that house and then build him a small house somewhere. So he's like, just stick the three-dimensional shingles on there and roll with it. Let me see. Bill, let me see. I've got a boy in Hendersonville, and I know Hendersonville and Jackson are a pretty good ways away. Let me call him and see if he knows anybody, and I'll see what I can figure out about that. This boy did a roof for 2 for me down in Hendersonville several years ago, and I'll see what I can figure out about that. Let me see where local preppers here. How are you, buddy? I need to give you a call. We need to talk about a few things. We need to talk about next year's festival. we need to get you down here for next year's festival. But I hope everything's going good with you, LP. And Miss Sharon, I wanted to use 55-gallon drums. We can only reach about a quarter of what's in there. Hey, I understand if you're short, it's hard to get inside those 55-gallon drums. Now they do make, I found some 30-gallon metal drums before, and they're harder to find, but those things work pretty good, and they're not near as tall to get into. And Darren's got a metal roof, and they love theirs. And then Michael, metal is the way to go up here. Snow clears off of it easy. Yeah. LP, you don't owe me money, but if you want to send somebody money, hey, send me some money, and I won't complain about it. I know that. So I've actually got to pay. We've got that. I've got to pay all the subs. I got to pay the cabinet guy, the glass guy, the plumber and electrician. I got to go pay those guys today for the bathroom because we just got paid on it last week, and I got to go pay those guys. So that's something else I've got to do today. Chris, anyone have the washers fail on metal roofs? I have seen that. Those washers only have a certain lifespan on those. And if you torque those things too far, it squishes the washer out and then it's dead in the water right there. But if you don't put enough torque on them, they don't seal up right. And a lot of guys will use those cheap Chinese metal screws on there that they are just crap. And Miss Sharon, thank you for putting my email in there for Bill. But if you're going to do the metal roof, buy the nicer fasteners and use those. The cheap Chinese ones don't last very long at all. So, and Bill, Facebook Marketplace is a good place for anything. Yes, you can find some amazing stuff on Marketplace. I'll tell you, if it wasn't for Kentucky Sustainable Living, the festival, and all that kind of stuff, I would probably not be on any social media or anything. And the only reason, if I didn't have this, I would stay on Facebook just for Marketplace. I mean, Marketplace is amazing. I was looking for little tables and stuff like that the other day on Marketplace for down here. Yeah, Michael Hamilton, hidden fasteners are awesome. I tell you, if I had the money and was going to put a roof on, I would do a standing seam metal roof. A standing seam metal roof is amazing. It has no exterior fasteners on it. They're fastened at the top and the bottom, and then they're fastened on the side of the panel. So you'll put the fastener on the side of the panel, and then you slide your other panel over, and you run a seamer up through there, and it seams those two pieces of metal and folds everything back over. Those standing seam metal roofs are expensive as all get out. They look good, but they will last freaking forever. You've got no fasteners to leak, anything like that. And you can go through. I mean, if the finish starts wearing off those, you can clean them and go back with a nice paint and paint those jokers. And those things a standing seam metal roof, if it's put on right, will outlast any other roof, in my opinion, other than probably a slate roof. One of my uncles had a slate roof on his house, and they took it off years ago. But it was cool as all get out. I mean, a slate roof, it had been on there for no telling how long. And they finally took it off because every now and then one of the slate shingles would slide off, and they're like, it's going to kill somebody if it ever hits somebody. So slate roofs are awesome. I would love, no telling what a slate roof would cost these days. I don't think anybody could afford it. So, but guys, that's about all I've got. We've talked roofs, we've talked prepping, we've talked workshops, all that kind of stuff. If you need anything, run to the website. We've got all our first aid and medical kits are on there in stock, ready to go. I've still got to get that OSHA kit, the Condition 1 OSHA kit. I've still got to get it up there. I've got some stuff to do. I got to go pay some subcontractors and go finish up. I got to finish up this little job and then go to my mother-in-law's house. And it looks a little cloudy outside right now. So maybe it'll do a little raining. Guys, I appreciate it. I will be back Friday morning, 8 o'clock. Shelly and I might wind up doing a live on Thursday. I hadn't talked to her yet, so we'll kind of see. But guys, I appreciate it. And I know I will be back here Friday morning at 8 o'clock. And I appreciate every one of y'all. If you need anything, shoot me an email, run to the website, and we'll have announcements on new workshops coming up, hopefully next week. But I appreciate all of you and see y'all later.